So 2 months ago, I actually made the Marvel's Rivals concept for Godzilla, considering the fact that IBI Primus on both TikTok and Twitter actually made a concept for him. I decided why not. By the way, I am going to do one more for the Kaiju Zilla Jr. Obviously, I got to put Big Jr. in here because that's about pretty much my big three when it comes to some of my favorites in Kaiju. I might do one for King Caesar. You know what? Let's add Big Caesar to the list as well. But with that being said here, I actually thought to myself, how could I do Godzilla without including his rival? So with that being said, be sure to comment down below, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And without further ado, let us begin. As we all know, Ghidorah is one of the few enemies of Godzilla that has multiple variants. But what would I actually, put this version of Ghidorah? Who would I actually put for this version of Ghidorah? Well, believe it or not, this would actually be the GMK Ghidorah, but with a little bit of a MonsterVerse aesthetic to him. He's gonna have his MonsterVerse design here. So what actually happens is the alternate ending to basically GMK, where when Ghidorah gains the soul of Mothra, Baragon, Mothra and Baragon, he actually is able to fully kill his Godzilla. And I do mean completely. Then he actually spends some time evolving. Now, mind you, keep in mind that GMK Ghidorah was not even fully grown. He was actually supposed to be an Orochi. But however, with the combination of Mothra's soul and Baragon's soul, let's say it just makes him bigger, stronger, and more, I guess you could say, grows some extra limbs, if you will, basically giving him a new and much stronger form. Now, as for his partner, Captain Marvel would actually be the way I would go with this. Cosmic Hero and a Cosmic Guardian Dragon. I think it makes sense, right? And the villain of the season would definitely be Tyrant, who is the, if I remember correctly, the son of Galactus, and this actually is someone who went blow for blow and power for power with Galactus because nobody else could stand up against him. Thanos tried, and he had characters like Silver Surfer, Beta Ray Bill, and Gladiator all stressing this man's power. So this would actually be a very good season for Galactic to be like, yeah, that's my brother, and please blow him up, please. Let something on that kind of caliber. Now, as for Captain Marvel herself, I actually done a whole video on how I would do Captain Marvel in Marvel Rivals. So if you guys haven't seen that video, then be sure to grab some popcorn and enjoy this little part, okay? We know Captain Marvel is definitely going to come to Marvel Rivals at some point. Yeah, she is a part of the original leaked list of characters, along with Valkyrie, Angela, Blade, and Emma Frost, and Ultron as well. So let's talk about it. How would I handle her in Marvel Rivals? I think it's kind of odd. She is going to have to be a tank. She's going to be the second flying tank here. And I feel like she should definitely have a few moveset. For starters, one of Captain Marvel's favorite things to do is to speed blitz and slam an opponent. I feel like a lot of people don't understand. She loves that. Like, it's her bread and butter. Like, she'll come in hot with something and then boom. Like full speed charge at you, and then she'll just start wailing on you and beating you. So again, a charging slam would definitely go pretty hard for her. Next off, we are gonna have to talk about an energy beam. Gonna definitely have to work. And then maybe an energy based I'm not too sure about it. Maybe like an energy spiral attack that's able to hit multiple opponents. I think that would be pretty cool. However, let's talk about one thing. Her form, or her binary form, excuse me. I feel like I have a way this could work, right? So this form has to absorb energy from the opponent. Basically, it needs energy-based players to actually feel it. So Human Torch, Iron Man, Loki, what else? Human Torch, Cyclops when he comes to the game and stuff like that, right? Her ability is the fact that she's immune to energy-based projections, meaning she can only be attacked physically, which would definitely come in handy for characters like Angela or, maybe physical based plays and stuff like that. But again, anybody using an energy based projectile, it's not gonna work on her unless it's something very different. But again, when she absorbs enough energy, this is gonna trigger her binary state where she is able to transform into it, and this causes her attack potency to kind of just go up. As for her ultimate, I have really no idea how I want this to work. I actually thought about giving her just one huge giant beam that could cover an entire area. Basically starts off as a beam, then it just kind of explodes on impact. Just kind of something that would fit her. Or maybe giving her a grappling move to where she's able to ram in somebody and then actually causes a explosion. Or she could do one of the things she did to the Brood, and that's cause a huge, massive AoE explosion, engulfing a good part of the battlefield. But again, not sure how the ultimate work, but I definitely think having the binary ability, kind of add as like a passive thing would definitely cause her to be one of the most effective players in Marvel Rivals. Peace. So, with that being said here, with this ultimate Ghidorah over here, basically, revitalizing everything, what is going to be his moveset? As for his melee combat, I think it can be a combination of Monsterverse Ghidorah and Godzilla Unleashed Ghidorah. But let's actually talk about the first move, right? Gravity beams. I think that's kind of obvious. It definitely needs to be a standard type of move here. Now, believe it or not, I would actually have this be I guess you could say a charge up move as well. Basically, you're going to see like 3 numbers at the top of this move and ability, where Ghidorah can pretty much launch all 3 or just simply 1, depending on the number there. Now, it's going to start off with all 3, and this is actually going to be able to spread across the battlefield, meaning you can damage and hit multiple opponents, basically in a sweeping motion. Basically, each head is going to go in different direction. Right head's going to go right, left head's going to go left, middle head is actually going to go up. So this means you can even get flying opponents as well here. And again, this is, not going to be a concentrated move here because, again, I think that would be a little too generic here. Ghidorah can cover multiple ways, can actually hit multiple teammates, can even get flying opponents if he wanted to. So, yeah. I mean, sure, you could even aim it as well, but again, it does depend. As the number goes down, so does the number of gravity beams. Meaning, again, you could either hit a left one or even hit a, aerial one. So, yeah, that's going to be for Ghidorah's first move, Gravity Beams. Next up, we're going to give him his Spiritual Barrier, and I'm going to call it the Reflection Barrier. Now, this barrier is going to be able to absorb only energy-based attacks, meaning melee opponents can actually do some, serious damage. So, people launching any type of projectile, this will get absorbed by Ghidorah. I'll even have it do the same thing Magneto does and be able to tank some of the more long-range ults like Human Torch's Fire Blast or Iron Man's Maximum Pulse and stuff like that. So Ghidorah is actually going to be able to absorb this energy and then redirect it back at his opponent with let's say a 2 times multiplier. I think a 10 times 1 would be kind of devastating in all honesty. But with that being said, move 3, I'm going to call the Winds of Ruin. This one is going to be a straightforward AoE pushback move. Can cause damage. And believe it or not, this can even, I would probably say, reflect some physical attackers. So if like a diver tries to go against Ghidorah, like Wolverine or Magic and Iron Fist, right? They use their lunge abilities. Ghidorah is able to just simply push them back. And if you're standing next to a cliff, hey, it is what it is at that point. If you standing next to a drop point, then obviously it's over. You finna get pushed off that with absolute ease here. And in all honesty, I don't think it should have a drag weight or have a weight limit. Considering the fact that I would definitely make Ghidorah a Vanguard as well, I do think that Ghidorah should be able to knock back tanks. So Hulk, even the Thing as well, would be vulnerable to this, despite his immovable, his unstoppable ability. Now, let's talk about his ultimate, the Dragon of Thunder. Something to kind of give Ghidorah's more prideful side, if you guys get what I mean here. The fact that Ghidorah is somewhat of a veiny and prideful beast, I think should be noted here. And the way I would actually have this move pretty much work here, I would actually have Ghidorah do the same thing he did within the Monsters, and that's the fact that he builds up a strong amount of electricity, and then he simply bails it in this large AoE. There's no way you're getting out of this. And by the way, this is going to be like the max destructive output. Only way you're getting by this if you have a shield. So Magneto, Rogue, stuff, Emma Frost and stuff like that. Those are going to be the only ones that pretty much survive this here. You could even darken the arena with his storm manipulation, and I think that would be kind of a good callback to King of the Monsters, where maybe some people might be able to endure this, but again, anyone without a shield or without a way to increase their durability, it's like an instant one shot. Like, it's just about over. But in all honesty, now we're at the point where we can talk about the three-headed Hydra's team-ups. Let's start with the first one. Now, this one I like to call the Gods of Chaos. Kind of going back into that, while this is a Guardian Ghidorah, there's still that evil aspect that his other forms have. And this is where I would definitely give the description. Hela and Loki seek Ghidorah's favor in order to gain their respective realms back. Meaning that Hela wants her dimension back, and Loki still wants to control Asgard. So, they need Ghidorah's power in order to do so. Hela's gravitational ball actually now causes a stun ability that actually paralyzes opponents instead of just simply leaving them there and leaving them there slowed. Meanwhile, Loki's more, I guess you could say, floor heal now has a bit of a static ability to it where it paralyzes opponents, basically giving them a bit of a paralysis ability, if you will, making them deadlier and making even team-ups deadlier for follow-ups. Next off, I have the Endless Fury, where sensing the potential in the electrical department for Thor and Storm, Ghidorah decides to combine their powers for his own personal gain and his curiosity. Now, as for Thor here, I would definitely say he gets a Thunderquake ability where he's able to unleash a thunder wave upon the battlefield, stunning and even damaging multiple opponents. Think of like Thing's ultimate, but a lot more lethal. Storm, on the other hand, gains a much-needed boost to her electrical field and is able to rain down multiple lightning blasts at the same time. No, we are not chilling on these picks here. And finally, the last team-up, Cosmic Devastation. Ghidorah teaches Carol and Shalabal how to wield a hidden energy deep inside them to give them the edge in combat. And this would actually be known as Black Gravity. Now, this is actually going to be pretty interesting because with Captain Marvel, she's now able to use this to actually cause her opponents to actually repel further out in the battlefield, basically meaning you could get them off of points. Meanwhile, with Silver Surfer, who will probably make a strategist or maybe a duelist, would definitely gain the ability to drop 3 anti-heal orbs around the battlefield that actually heal her opponents, but also drain the health of their enemies. So, yeah, it's going to be a very big devastation with Ghidorah in Marvel Rivals. But with that being said here, yeah, please comment down below, like, and subscribe, and share with your friends. Yes, I did think about giving him a team up with Iron Fist, but I will actually save that for the King Caesar video that I will be doing after Zilla Jr. But that's going to be all.